We're live.
We're live.
Friday Night Flies.
I'm trying to check our volume.
I can check that too.
Hello, hello, hello.
You were live right now, so.
We're live. It's Friday Night Flies. I don't think it's. So it's Friday Night Flies. It's been a while. I'm Boulder. Behind the scenes is Brad Knowles of Pemberton Fish Finder. We're here at Spud Valley Sporting Goods, 1380 Birch Street, downtown Pemberton. And yeah, this is Friday Night Flies, your weekend recipe. So it is ice fishing season. It's a little rainy out there, which also kind of enticed me to get out on the river this week. Helped that we had a river tour, so we had some crazy people who wanted to go fly fishing in waist deep snow. So hey, we took them out, and this is the pattern that I used. Yeah, volume was working perfect. So what I'm tying tonight is the triple threat, and it's when we go down, we'll show you the fly. Yeah, might as well go down while I'm talking here. So this fly was thought out for movement for our bull trout. Kind of comes off of, I was thinking of last year we did a video. When was that? Was in the spring, late winter.
I think it was late February.
Yeah, it was around kind of getting close to this time when we were able to access the river, because again we had a warm winter, so there was not a lot of snow for us.
Kind of covers the bases of a few things, like a flush pattern, a minnow pattern. I mean,
yeah, it definitely has all those characteristics. You can dead drift it like a flesh pattern, strip it like a streamer or a minnow pattern, but it has that chartreuse color that for some reason drives those bull trout crazy.
Looks
and it helps in our water, because where we're using it on the Lillooet, you got muddy water.
Yeah, it's got a bit of color,
so it helps to fight through that. So it's triple threat because we have a nice free-flowing rabbit strip tail here, lots of movement. We have Marabou in the middle, which breathes quite well, and then we got the added rubber legs for some nice squiggly movement. So you're able to hold it in the stream, and this thing, when you're just holding it in the pocket, it really moves around. And we'll drop that out of the vise, and then we'll just stick this one in there. So then you got more of the traditional colors of like a sculpin. So I've been throwing both of them. I got hits on both of them, but the Chartreuse one, that's the one that we landed all the big ones on. And I think we'll be doing a report in the next. Give Brad a little time. He's pretty busy trying to get all the reports done, but I know he's doing a river report, and this fly is featured in it. So make sure you check out pembertonfishfinder.com/reports to see how we did on the river.
We also got question and answers open right now, so if you got some questions, hit us up. We'll try our best to get them.
Definitely.
Through the night here.
So for all those that are joining live, we can see there's quite a few of you tonight. So welcome back, and thanks for joining. What we're going to start off with is a streamer hook. It's a size 6. It's probably the one that I use the most when I'm using streamers, but it's a nice 5X long. And I forget what size of bead. I think I wrote down the wrong bead on the recipe because I was thinking of another pattern. It's not a bright orange. It's a gold.
Yeah, quarter ounce.
It's probably a 1/4 ounce.
Or quarter, what do they call it? Quarter. Whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
1/4 ounce.
Yeah,
1/4 ounce cone head. I know in the recipe I put bright orange. You could use an orange one, but I've been using the gold or copper, whichever one. So we're going to start off with getting our thread on. I specifically use red because I do put a little red tag in the back. I really don't think it gets visible at all with all the hair that's on this thing, but hey, it makes me feel good. Put a little hot spot in there. So we're going to get this on. We're going to work it right back to the bend of the hook, and I'm going to create my little hot spot here. Some nice careful wraps. And those of you that like my nice open winding, it's because this bobbin is pretty loose. So it just gets longer and longer every time I use it. And I know you can control it with the palm of your hand, but whatever. All right, so I got my nice little tag on there, my red tag. Next, we're going to go to our rabbit strip. So this used to be a Magnum strip, but I always buy the Magnum and then I'll trim them down so that way I get multi-uses out of the same material. So you can see I've trimmed this one in half, that magnum strip. If you don't get the magnum, you just get the, I forget what size it is, zonker. That's what it is, zonker strip. So the zonkers are a little thinner. But I'm going to attach this on here. Right on top. Make sure it's right on top of that hook so that it's not twisting, and really secure that down nice. Now we're going to measure this out. So once we get our Marabou on there, or Marabou, whatever you want to call it, we want to make sure that this tail doesn't just disappear. It needs to have that white color showing through. So we do quite a long tail, and it's probably the same length as my hook. And we're gonna just make sure we get that material out. Don't just, if you just chop it straight through, you're gonna have a blunt tail. You're not gonna have the nice flow to it. So what you do is you move these fibers up, you sneak your scissors in there, cut that strip so that way the hair comes out over top of the strip. Gives you that tapered profile. I'm just going to give it a little twist so I can see it's all, there we go, hanging straight. Beauty. Tail done, easy. Next is our body. And I'm going to go to some holographic tinsel here. There's, all right, let's get this tied in. Just trap that piece, and I'm going to tie it in right in front of where I put that rabbit strip. Forgot to mention, I'm just going to go back over and continue with that little hot spot there. So I filled that in nice and tight. Now I'm going to work this thread forward.
I mean, it magnifies the size of your wrap. But I mean, if you look at the screen, it's a size 6 hooks, and it looks like about a 10-aught hook in a camera.
Oh yeah.
So it magnifies everything drastically.
All right, so we're going to get this core wrapped up.
It's been a while since we did a show.
It's been a long while.
Man, we've been
That's
busy.
how busy we've been.
Oh god.
It's been a great ice fishing season. Started off with a nice cold snap around Christmas, froze all our lakes up really good. It's helped that Whistler's had some snow, so people have been coming up. They're happy to be on the slopes, and they need a little day of rest and relaxation.
Yeah,
so they come out ice fishing, sit your ass on a bucket.
Catch some fish, man. We've been getting some nice fish this year.
All right, so we've wrapped back up. Leave a little bit of a space to build in this collar here. Next, we're going to go and we're going to grab our Chartreuse Marabou, and I'm going to find a nice feather that has lots of nice plumage, nice flowing stuff. That'll work. Peel that off. Okay. So just check out your feather here. Notice a lot of time they get matted down. That's just from the dyeing process. So you can get that out before you've tied it in with your fingers. Give it a little rub. There we go. I like it the way this looks. I'm going to just peel some of the feather off of the stiffer part. And you can see, so when we wrap this on there, it's going to be some of those longer feathers are just covering that tail. So I'm going to just get rid of a little bit more because that's way too long. There we go. So I don't want too much of that long stuff down there.
Oh, we got somebody checked up here. Philip. Yeah, we got his question here. Philip's asked, welcome back, guys. Since you have such a long tail, have you thought about tying this as a articulated fly? Do you guys have limitations on using multiple hooks in your area?
No, I was actually experimenting with it, but the nice thing with the bull trout is if they're going after your fly, they're hammering it.
That's
so
right.
the long tail doesn't
You know what?
affect the bull trout fishing.
They don't stop until they get it.
Yeah, they'll keep chasing that thing down. So it hasn't been a problem with hooking up, but you can do an articulated. But yes, we are up in the remote area of Pemberton, so we've been trying to get some articulated shanks brought into spud, but
they're not easy to come by.
they're not easy to come by.
Yeah, even like the Waddington shanks and stuff like that. I don't even. We're having troubles finding them.
And I think I'm the majority of the customer base for the fly tying stuff. So we're a little sports shop here, so we can't just carry everything under the sun. But yeah, if you wanted to do an articulated, that would work super good.
I'm looking for those things that stop you slipping.
Anyhow, hopefully that answered your question. If you've got some more, man, hit us. And we'd like to thank all our viewers tonight too. We've got quite a few on there tonight. We're just under 1 million viewers, which is awesome for Friday Night Flies. I've seen this fly work firsthand. It's deadly.
All right, so you got your wraps in there. I'm just going to secure that tag end and get rid of it. I'm going to give a little blow, get those feathers all
That's what it looks like in the
cured
water.
out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what I like to do before, I'm going to back wrap a little bit. So I'm just going to make sure that my distribution's nice and even around my fly. Then I'm going to just pull this stuff back a little, and I'm going to work my thread back on top of it, back to where I tied it in, basically. There we go, liking that. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our rabbit strip, and we're going to tie this in. Now it's important, I'm going to tie it in on a, not straight on the hook, but on an angle here, so that when I wrap it, it immediately goes skin down. So I'm just going to trap that little tag in so you can see it's hanging over the side. I'm going to make sure that's nice and secure. So then when I start wrapping, it's going to be skin side down against the hook shank. And we're going to do 2 or 3 wraps with this.
And they didn't want to go into it. Oh, they did.
And as I'm doing it, just make sure I pull that rabbit hair out. Awesome. We're going to trap that in there. A couple nice wraps. Just going to shorten up my bobbin here. Awesome.
Would you like a copy of the sheet?
Yeah, sure.
Trim that rabbit hair off. And really secure that tag underneath that cone head. And I'm going to do the same thing with the rabbit. I'm just going to kind of trap it back. And I'm going to get my thread up on top of it and push it all back. Looking really good. So next what we're going to do is put a little what's up flash in there. So I got some Flashabou pearl in the Chartreuse. And I'm going to grab,
That's nice.
2 nibs of this stuff. 2 full lengths. Match up your tips. Nip it off. So I'm going to put 2 of these new pieces on each side. So what I like to do with these is loop them over. So basically I'm trapping it under the thread. Get it right in the middle. I'm going to give it 1 wrap. Fold that front piece back. And I'll try to do it on your side without moving this so that you can see exactly what just happened. So you slide your Flashabou underneath. And cut it right in the middle. Do 1, grab your front 2, pull them back, Secure that all in there. So you should have 4 pieces going down each side of that fly. And then we're going to do the same thing with some Chartreuse round barred rubber legs. So we're going to grab one leg, get out of the way, Marabou, drop it right in the middle, give yourself a wrap, fold that other one back, and drop it in. One more wrap to make sure it's secure before you go to the other side. How's it looking on that side?
Looks pretty darn sexy, man.
I can't see it.
No, it looks great. It really does.
All right, so let's work this one around to my side. Make sure you really hold down those first 2 legs so that they don't move on you, because they will. Try to keep your wraps nice and neat all on top of each other. There we go. So we're all in. Now the last part is to use your Glo-Bright chenille around the head. Lo and behold, of course I had to forget something. So I'm going to show you the alternative. If you don't have it, you're going to use some dubbing. So I'm just going to create a little dubbing loop here. The chenille is a lot easier. You just...
Would like a cactus chenille or something like that, or?
Well, this is, I'll show you what we almost have what I use. So that's what your chenille is, right? So you just tie the tip in and wrap it around.
Fill it in.
Fills in that collar. Pretty easy. If you don't have chenille, or you don't have the chenille in the color that you want, I'm going to grab a little bit of, I think this is laser dubbing here. UV laser dubbing. I've made a dubbing loop. Oh, twist it in. So there you go. I've just made myself my own chenille loop. Now I can see my cone's getting all buggered up, so we're just going to get that straight again. Now I have done it with that stuff, Brad.
The cactus chenille?
Yeah, and I think it takes away just a little bit.
Just a little too hot, is it? Have you tried it with the polar chenille?
No. All right, so we got that in there. The nice thing about the cactus or the Glo-Bright, or using a chenille like this, is it helps to, you can see this head has a lot of movement, whereas the chenille, you can get some good wraps in there and it gets it nice and secure. So that's all right. For the purposes of Friday Night Flies demo, at least you get to see an alternative. Little whip finish. I'm going to intend on using this fly, so I'm going to really bulk that up. I want that head to be secure. So now I'm cheating. Dubbing loop works a lot better. It's going to stay on there, but I'm just going to dub some in here. See if I can just fill in that space behind that cone. There we go.
Boom.
There we go. Now she's on there good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Done. So that is a triple thread.
Done.
That's a little big there. Oh, just fluff some of that out a little.
You just need a little tool to design.
There you go. That's your fly.
That's deadly.
That thing dances in the water. And yeah, pretty successful so far on the water with it. I can't wait for the rivers to become a little bit more accessible so we can hit more than the holes that I've plunged through all the snow to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go up top here.
Yeah, let's go up top. We'll sign out. So I'm Boulder. Thanks for watching. It's Friday Night Flies. Make sure you get a couple of these triple threat flies in your box. Try them in some of the natural colors as well. Doesn't hurt. And thanks for watching Friday Night Flies. We'll be back with a couple more episodes tonight, so stay tuned for more. Ciao.